What's good, everyone? Welcome to the debut episode of 21 Questions, a high ground Q&A. I'm your host, OG Vam, and I'm thrilled to have you join us for this exciting journey where curiosity meets conversation. And on the first episode, on this first debut pilot episode, I am honored to be joined by a guy that doesn't know defeat and brings a smile to everyone around him. He is the host of the Sanity and Symphony podcast and my friend and co-host of HGU's podcast, and is one of the brightest young people I've ever had the pleasure of knowing. So give it up for the official Lynn Sanity.
Wow, man. Thank you for that intro. That was dope.
Gave you the WWE intro. Give it
Pleasure.
up,
Yeah, man. Give it up. Give it up. Thank you for having me,
Lynn.
man. Pleasure to be here.
Pleasure to be here. You work here, but it's fine. Hey, how are you?
I'm great, man. I'm glad I only had one class today, so I get the rest of the day to myself.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Um, if you don't mind, you can give us a little. I mean, we'll ask you later, probably at the end too, a little bit about your personal podcast.
Yeah, so Sanity and Symphony is a podcast where I take a deep dive into people's mental state and their creative process, along with any accolades and accomplishments in their life, just where they were at mentally during that moment in their life. Because with my podcast, when my guests tell those type of stories, I want there to be a domino effect and like a chain reaction amongst the listeners where they can resonate with the story and come to the realization and realize, like, if they're able to go through all that trouble and come out this successful, then I can do the same.
And that's one that we listen to every week. A lot of us do at least. Hopefully more. Hopefully more.
Hopefully.
So the way that this show works, I have been teasing them about it. I had showed them the intros, the soft music. The way this show works, it is 21 questions. That's all it is. It takes a deep dive. Some of them are fun, some of them are icebreakers. The goal here is to get people, the listeners, the viewers to get to know not only HGU members and their personal lives, like your podcast, but anybody that I bring on here, special guests, future guests, whatever, is just to give a deep dive to put a story, I guess you could say, to the member, to the person. Easy, just answer it, truthfully as you can. Be fun, have fun, and just remember, put your little thinking cap on, and we gonna get there. So we're gonna get started real simple, a nice little icebreaker, if you will.
All right.
Lynn, if your life were a movie, what genre would it be, and who would play you?
Hmm. Uh, my life movie would probably be a mixture of drama and some comedy for sure. And when I say drama, I mean, like, everyone's story starts off rough in the beginning and then they have that moment where they finally reach a point in their life where they realize they're able to turn all those negative cards in their life upside down.
Right. Who would play it?
And who would play me?
Who would play you? Please, I want to hear this one.
That's a good question because I've been told lately there's been a lot of doppelgangers of me out there from what's the guy's name? Jordan from All American. And I was told I look like Lewis Hamilton from
Hmm.
NASCAR, something like that. And I've been told I look like Jello. So I don't know.
If it's
Maybe
a
I'd go.
drama, yeah, it'd be the one
Yeah.
from Joe. I'd take the guy from All American. He can do some drama shit for real.
Yeah, honestly, I'd go with him. And fun fact, I actually reached out to him once on Instagram, but he left me on red. I
That's okay. I
mentioned
mean,
to him about
eventually
like
you'll
yes,
get
sir.
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. That was a good one. Um, yeah. The later part of that question was why. This man dead ass looks like him, so that's easy. This would be the easiest thing ever.
Yeah, let me shave the beard and you'll see.
Alright, cool. If you could invite any guest, living or historical, to be on an episode of Sanity and Jesus Symphony, uh, who would it be and why?
Uh, as far as people who passed away, I would definitely want to have somebody like Michael Jackson on my show, get a deep dive into his career because he's
Mhm.
been through a lot personally in his career, especially from the beginning stages as a child star, and definitely dive into his personal, life story, what he was going through, and how he's able to like just cope through all of that, through all his career, from being a child star to still being able to maintain a career and somewhat your mental sanity throughout that, up until when he passed away.
Mhm.
And hmm, uh, as far as like the hip hop side, probably like guys like Eminem and J. Cole, because those are some rappers I look up to a lot, and they've been through a lot in life, and they
Right.
tell great
Yeah.
stories in their music. So
Yeah, they would fit the very definition of your podcast, especially Eminem, especially for the last 30 plus years. So that makes a whole lot of sense. Hell yeah. Okay, so this is a two-part question because you are a two-part host. You're a host of your own and you're a host here. Uh, what's been your favorite? And you can answer either or you can answer one of both. What's been your favorite moment in podcasting so far?
my favorite moment is getting feedback from people on social media, or people who like talk to me in public and say I checked out your episode and it was really dope. They tell me like I'm really good at keeping the conversation and asking very good open-ended questions to where they're able to express themselves freely.
So you're basically you're just a good host. Like you're not one of these tabloid reporters.
Yeah.
Basically, you're on it. You on point officially.
Pun intended.
Pun intended. Dad joke. All right, cool. If you could create a podcast episode with an unlimited budget, what would the theme or concept be?
Hmm, that's a good question. uh Maybe things that something based on nostalgia, because that's one thing that keeps everyone happy, keeps everyone distracted from the BS they go through in life. So I would probably, think of things where I would bring up things that would remind people of their childhood, or a certain point in their life where they felt like really happy inside, and it's a
Right,
moment they never forget.
right. Like, yeah. It would be interesting to see with an unlimited budget for you for your podcast to see like picking an artist from hip hop artist from every era.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And go with wrestling eras. Like the Attitude Era would be Eminem, and the all the way up to the diss track era.
Shout out Tupac.
Yeah. Okay, so that's dope. Hopefully you have an unlimited budget one day.
One day. Shit.
Imagine now. Okay, just fifth question. Imagine we're doing a segment called 5 Year Predictions.
Mhm.
Where do you see your creative journey heading in that time?
5 years from now, I see myself working for a media outlet, going to attending red carpet events, sporting events, conducting interviews with athletes and celebrities, possibly turning my podcast into a radio show nationwide.
Ooh, I can only imagine what I'll be listening to in my car on the long drives to get coffee.
Yeah, man, people need stuff like that, for especially like truck drivers or Uber drivers, people on the road who spend hours on the road, they definitely need
For
some
sure.
therapy and some things to resonate with while they're driving.
Yeah, I remember when I was a truck driver, I spent a lot. I, one of the major purchases I made was Sirius, not Sirius XM, Sirius. This is back when it was Sirius and XM.
Hmm.
So, and that's what I'd listen to, either comedy or sports. So, all right, we're moving along. It's good stuff. It's easy.
Yes, sir.
What's your what's your favorite guilty pleasure topic that you would secretly love to cover on the podcast?
Guilty pleasure. What do you mean by guilty pleasure?
Guilty pleasure can just be like, for instance, my guilty pleasure is tea. I would love to cover a whole episode on HGU about unsweetened black tea, not sweet tea. No,
Uh,
unsweetened tea. Just the snobbery that I have having over 1,500 different kinds of tea in my house.
right.
So that's my guilty pleasure. Or
Right.
romance novels. Y'all know about my romance novels, my weird cat novels, my necromancer, those things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, shout out Bongo Cat too.
Right.
But guilty pleasure. I would have to say probably I mean, like, I'm big with music. Like, I listen to music every day, damn near. If I'm doing schoolwork, if I'm working, I listen to music all the time. So probably just like explaining the science of music, like the nerdy part of music that most people don't really care too much for, but
The
for
mute
those who do.
the instrumental parts.
The instrumentals, the cadences
The
with
music
people.
theory part of music that nobody wants to know. Just
Exactly.
I'd be interested, and simply because classical music is my jam, and that deals with nothing but expressions, and you know, I'd be interested.
Exactly. And plus, there's a lot of people that there's artists out there who have more than one meaning behind a certain line that they say in a
Oh yeah,
song, and not a lot of people catch those. So
for sure.
I would love to, like, teach a class on those double entendres and bars like that.
Oh yeah, for dang sure. And that's fun. You should do that. You should just go ahead and do it.
Hopefully, I mean, if KRS One could turn into a teacher after his hip hop career, why not?
Right. Exactly. All right. If you could teleport anywhere in the world right now, where would you go, and what's the first thing you do?
I'm going to Ecuador, which is where I'm from. My family was from Ecuador. I'm the only one in my family pretty much who hasn't been there. So I definitely want to go there and figure out my culture, see what it's like, tap into my roots,
Okay, yeah.
explore the country.
It's a fun country. It's a real fun country. From what I've learned, you should go. Hopefully after school and stuff, you can take some time.
I am currently working on my passport, so
Ooh,
hopefully
how long have you been working on getting one of those?
months. It's a
Yeah,
it's a process. It's a process.
I still got to get mine. I had one as a child, but not as an adult. All right. Number 8. What's your go-to? Oh, I'm gonna love this one. What is your go-to karaoke song, and will you actually sing it on the podcast?
Well, my go-to songs change, to be honest.
Okay.
But as of recently, it's this song called Steppas by A Boogie. And I haven't learned the whole song yet, but it's pretty like up tempo song, gets you hype.
Would you perform it on Crash Out Tuesday?
If I were to study the whole lyrics, sure.
All right. I'm gonna ask
Give
you
me
on
some
Tuesday.
Tuesday. All right. Give me some time to learn the lyrics.
But you probably won't be alone. So many people around. They'll join in. I'm
That
pretty
too.
sure. All right. Steppers by A Boogie. Mm. I only know one A Boogie song.
Which one is that?
Drowning.
That's a valid song. It's a
But
classic.
it's a good song to me.
Classic.
And coming from me, you know me in new music. That is
Mhm.
a fabulous thing to hear me say. Good song.
I wasn't even expecting you to even be like the A Boogie fan, so that caught
I'm
me off guard.
I'm just not an A Boogie hater. Ah,
Respect.
is there a book, a movie, or piece of art that deeply influenced the way you view the world?
Hmm. Um, there was this one movie on Netflix that came out. I think it was like a year ago or
Hmm.
2023. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it was about like like the world ending in a hypothetical way, like a Wi-Fi internet cuts off and
Hmm.
things like that slowly. And people who knew how to survive like the old school way survived, and those who relied on the internet didn't. And that basically taught me a lot. Like people get very too comfortable with the modern day technology instead of being prepared with something like your old school tactics and survival
Hmm.
skills in case something like that were to happen. So that put me out of my mindset of getting comfortable with all the technology and tapping back into those old school traditions of survival tactics so that I can be prepared for stuff like that.
Right. It'd be nice. I'm thankful that I grew up as a millennial, honestly, because we
Mm,
had it good before, like right at when it started to come out. But if you ask me to read a map, I can do it. Because I'm pre GPS, so
mm,
I didn't trust GPS when it first came out. By the way, I was like, this thing is gonna send the like an old person. Hmm. That's a good answer. If you were scared that you're too bougie and have technical issues or tech problems with disconnecting from what everything is tech, go learn how to catch a fish. It will save
yeah,
your life eventually.
or hunt deer, something.
Hunt deer, hunt or do something. All right. What is a strange talent or skill you have that could entertain us all for hours?
Uh, I don't have a weird skill, but I'm a really dope drummer. Kind of keep that to myself. Um, I don't have a drum kit at the moment, but when I currently move to my next new house, I will be investing in one eventually. So stay tuned for that.
Heck yeah. All right, we gonna hold you to it. I expect to have that MP4 video sent to me. I ain't heard nobody do drum kits at home since my when my homies did it when we were kids. He
When
sucked.
I was
So
like 14, I've always wanted to start a YouTube channel doing drum covers of all my favorite rock songs. So eventually it will come to fruition.
that's good. That's real good. Hell yeah. We about to get the drummer guy. Not the drummer boy. He ain't no boy, the guy. Just a chill guy doing drums in the basement or in the garage on his room.
Soundproof area.
Soundproof, somewhere where the cops won't be called.
Yeah.
All right. What's a defining moment in your life that shaped who you are today?
Defining moment. It has to be the first time I ever called up Sway in the morning show and I got to speak to Black Thought on his show. That was the day pretty much where I gained the confidence and knew that I wanted to get into journalism and podcasting, radio, etc. Um, I had asked him a question on his creative process and his mindset on the song that he made with Eminem and Royce da 5'9". And the next day on Sway's show, Sway used the clip of my question and put it in like a commercial segment, and they used it in advertisement. And
Okay.
after that, it transitioned into the song that I asked about. So that moment made me like really happy about it, and it meant a lot to me.
That's dope. Fun fact. I also like Black Thought. I can't tell you anything that he's actually done. I've heard one freestyle that one of my friends put me on,
Mhm.
and that was it. That's all I needed to hear. Is literally Black Thought. It's a thought, and you'll think about it the rest of your life. You damn right.
He's
So
he's so but the thing with me, I don't have like a top 5 rappers of all time, but I have 10 rappers who, in my opinion, just I feel like if you were to put your 10 against my 10, I just know for a fact you're not beating my 10. Simple as that.
it's easy. It's easy to beat my 10.
and
All of
he's in
mine,
definitely in my 10. So
all of mine are, in one city. The ATL. All right.
shout out Ti
Damn right.
and Andre,
Big boy and all them boys.
all them ATL rappers.
All right. Let's see. Where we at? And we are more than halfway through. Flying. I ain't gonna get this lucky next time. Uh, 12. Is there a lesson you've learned the hard way that you think everyone should hear?
Yeah, recently actually. If you want to get into the entertainment business, regardless of what position, what career field, just know it's a cutthroat business. Not everyone's going to shake your hand. Not everyone is family. And be careful who you consider your family and close friends. Some people will act like they're real cool and smile in your face in the beginning, and then randomly they'll just turn on you when you least expect it and won't even support your stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
don't expect too much. Be prepared and always know how to do things on your own in case you end up losing some people or losing trust in people. So
Basically, what he said: don't trust anybody. Not playing.
you can trust some people, but just keep a close eye on them. Don't let your guard down for anybody.
I mean, it's okay to trust people, but you got to remember, a lot of people, they want what's best for themselves
That
first.
part, whatever benefits them.
Not everybody is like that. I'm not
Yeah,
like, but
there are some down to earth people. I can tell you that. I'm still cool with some people that I've met from the beginning, and there are some people I had to cut ties with. But I still learned some things, positive and negative, from those that I had to cut ties with.
hell yeah. And anybody that thinks you can't trust Lynn in this situation, no, he learned to do, not to trust everybody, but I can tell y'all, y'all can trust him. It's fine. He's too funny to be a snake.
Yeah, I won't do nothing trifling unless you give me a reason to. Let's put it that way.
Is let me see. This- What's one thing you've learned from being part of this podcast that you didn't expect from your podcast?
So, what's one thing I learned from this that I didn't learn from my podcast?
No, no. What's one thing that you learned from your podcast that you didn't expect to learn?
Oh, let's see. Um, Maybe more research. Do more research.
Uh-huh.
I could do better on research. I'll be honest with that, because there were times after I get done recording and I'm like, damn, why didn't I ask about this and that? So definitely, when it comes to my preparedness in my podcast, more research. Even
That's
though,
a
like,
good thing.
even at times when you feel like you've done enough, always put in a little extra just in case.
Oh yeah, 100%. You always got to put in just a little bit extra. Like that's why I went with 21 questions instead of five. Five we've been over about 18 minutes ago.
Yeah, we're
21
45 too.
really gets and 21 questions really not all. I mean, I want to go about 100, but I just bring you back on another show with a different topic. So another set of questions, straight music.
It's fine.
All right. What's a childhood memory that still makes you laugh out loud?
Laugh out loud.
Hmm.
Anytime I had family parties in New York as a kid, there's always some funny moments going on. Sometimes when the Remy in the system, people tend to have fun with your family.
Hmm. Yeah, I can get with that. What happened to make you laugh out loud like
It's like,
that?
playing, dancing the goofy music, or your cousins arguing over something stupid.
So you just remembering like parties and get-togethers is where chaos ensues.
Yeah, but
Okay.
the chaos ends in laughter and all love at the end of the day, because it's still family.
Hell yeah. That's a good one. All right. Let's see if you got an answer for this one though. Is there a toy, a game, or a show from your younger years that you wish you could experience again?
Hmm. Well, I do wish I could experience Christmas year 2008 again. That had to be like my all-time favorite Christmas when I was a kid. Uh, I was living in New York. My grandparents came from Jersey to visit for the weekend. Um, I got a bunch of like wrestlers for that year, and that year in wrestling was a pretty dope year. So I had a great line of wrestlers for that year. On my Christmas tree, I had like a bunch of like dollars on there. I guess my parents did this overnight while I was sleeping, but there was money all over the Christmas tree, and I was just picking all the money out of the tree. And I think Obama was running for the first time at the time. He was having a campaign. So yeah, it was just a really dope year for me at that time.
That's dope. It'd be nice to go back and experience some things again.
I know, right,
It'd
man?
be
I think about childhood memories all the time that I wish I can go back to.
when I wake up and rub my knees from being old, man, I just be like, man, I remember waking up and then you get some Dunkaroos, going
Yeah,
outside.
man.
No, now I gotta
Kids
watch
with
my
mean
work.
lunches.
You know, I gotta understand and figure out why I slept wrong and now my elbow hurts. Yeah, man, it's a good times. 2008 was a good year. Let me see. If you could send a message to your past self, what would you say?
Don't waste your youth socializing with the wrong crowd. Start focusing on what you really want to do in life. Because I found I kind of didn't know what I really wanted to do career wise until I was like 22, and I started college at 18. So I was just jumping from major to major throughout those whole first two years of college because I was hanging around with the wrong people. I was in toxic relationships. So just making the wrong decisions, being young and dumb.
Yeah, yeah, I'm right there with you. There's a lot. I went to college in 2018, but I started college in '05 the first time. I wish I could. I
Yeah.
wish to go back, but hey, we're here, so
Yeah,
everybody needs
like
to
if it
hear.
wasn't for that stuff, I wouldn't be in the position I am today. So
Right.
I look at it that way all the time.
All right, getting closer. Imagine we can only record one more podcast episode ever. What would the topic be and why?
Uh, Definitely top three moments as a group. If we were to reunite in the future, what ideas could we do? Uh, hmm, maybe maybe interact with the fans more, like how ITC does with their fan base.
Right,
Let the fans get a chance to experience what HGU is like. Let them participate in Crash Out Tuesday sometime.
right. Well, we got plans for it. There's some games we might be able to play like Fall Guys or whatnot on it. We'll see.
Or if if the money is where it is, have us all meet in person and do an in-person HGU stream at like a club or something, and rent out a
That's the
booth.
plan. That is the plan. Man, that would be great. Hopefully soon before I turn 40.
Man, HGU in a VIP booth. I don't know if Twitch is even gonna.
I don't think they'd
It's bad
allow it.
enough YouTube is censored, but man,
Hmm. That's okay.
HGU would be
We have a
something.
website that we can go live on.
True. That is
So,
true. Stay
uh,
tuned for that one, man.
yeah. All right. What's your dream? This is for your podcast, not ours. What's your dream crossover with another podcast or group
Hmm. With another group or podcast.
or radio show? You can extend it if you need to.
Definitely Sway Show, obviously, because that's where the main inspiration came from. Uh, I got another one of my friends in radio. His name is Destroy. He has a show called Control All Destroy. His is more like like hip hop knowledge based. Like you got to know your stuff in hip hop to be on his show.
Right.
I would love to combine that with mine because with his show, when he has like rappers and celebrities on his show, he's always knowing a lot of like private behind the scenes stuff in their lives, and he catches them off guard with that. So it's the reaction that he gets off of his guests is what like brings his show to life a lot. So that's really dope.
Hell yeah. Damn, that's dope. I hope Sway does that. I don't know. You're probably going to clip this up, which I want you to do. Of course, this is what the show is for everybody to do it. But I hope you get to see at least get to see that part of the show and say, man, look, we want you. We want you. You inspired me. I want to thank you by having you on the show with me. It'd be great.
Yeah, man. And plus, like the thing with me, like I'm humble. I'm not the type to like ask and beg so quick. I'd rather like feel like I earned my way with him, you know.
Right.
But hey, it's never too. It's never. What is it? It's never too hard to shoot your shot. Something like that.
But
Never
yeah,
too
it's
late.
never too soon, never too early, and never too late. Ever. So unless you're certain somebody chasing a Lambo.
Oh, I
Okay,
digress.
I digress. Uh, if okay, we are on. Oh yeah, we're on that one. Everybody that does a Jay knows about this show, so he knew about this question for you. This is a you
Hmm.
question. Nobody will ever have this question in the future.
Okay.
If you had to choose, number 19, by the way, if you had to choose between always speaking in movie quotes or song lyrics, which would it be?
Probably song lyrics. Yeah.
You know, we were like, he'd probably answer it like saying you only have one shot or one opportunity.
I would have, but I didn't want to be corny.
Oh, I want you to be corny. That is 100% of you thing. We knew that from the minute that I was like, he's gonna be song lyric. It's like goading him into what's already gonna happen.
Well, if that's the case, you only get one shot.
There you go. All right. What is the best compliment you've ever received, and how did it make you feel?
Hmm. That's something I'd probably have to look in my phone for because I've gotten paragraphs from people. I've gotten a simple one word sentence that meant a lot. But probably from when I went to Sirius XM in December of 2023, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I met one of the producers who got me in the building, and he was giving me a tour, introducing me to whoever was there. And it's the fact that this was before I had my podcast, before I was even built as a brand on social media like that. He was already telling people in the building like he's next up. This is the next guy that
Mm-hmm.
the next big thing coming. And it's the fact that he was like promoting me that much in front of everyone in the building without me even having anything on my resume yet. That meant a lot to me. So shout out to Tone.
That's dope. Yeah. Shout out to Tom. Keep pumping his head full of shit so he gets there. I'm trying
No,
to
he
listen to
does,
him
man.
on
He
that.
does for real.
All right. We're on number 21. Okay. Earlier, I asked you if you can send a message to your past self. What would you say? My final question to you is, what is the message you want to tell your future self as right now?
Um, appreciate all the work you put in, and let's see. You can't bring everyone to the top with you.
Right.
There, because I know I'm that person that's like, man, I can't forget about this person. I gotta bring this person, but you gotta really pick and choose who you can and can't take with you. Whether it has to be people who's gonna benefit your future.
Exactly. I could tell you your future self from here. Worry about you to be able to help other people to the top. You got to get there first. There's no other way. You can't be like, well, push everybody up. Hey, pull me up. No, you got to get there first and then pull everybody up with you. Or to find another young man and help him for his journey, young
Hmm.
man or woman or person. Hell yeah. We went through a whole 21 question journey.
Dope.
Doped out. Hell yeah. All right.
Those were really good questions too.
Oh yeah, man. Look, I do my research too. And I bing it. Ooh, that's another one. Shit. They finna drag me, bro.
The memes coming.
For damn sure. All right. So I wanted to take this time. I wanted to thank you, Lynn. We are 100% behind you. We are looking forward to your future, your accomplishments, your journey, your failures, all of it, everything that helps you to help others. We're here for, and to our viewers,
Thank you, man. Thank you.
to our
Vice
viewers,
versa as
hmm
well.
it has been a pleasure to have you all here today with the host of a very much needed podcast of Sanity and Symphony and the co-host here at High Ground Unscripted. So please be sure to check out his work. I'm gonna link it below. You see his name across the screen. You see his podcast name. You see his name every time that we get on some type of live stream. He's there. So be sure to go check it out. Be sure to hit likes and subscribes on his videos. Follow him in social media. You know, it's a wonderful thing. It's a good thing. And as always, I'm your host OG Bam, and this here is 21 questions, a high ground Q&A. It has been a pleasure, and I will see you all next time.
Deuces.